The unfolding saga of debt crises. Causes, consequences, and lessons.
A house, it's basically a tied house right now.
Debt crisis when
each one of us would each pay an equal amount.
Constantly moving more and more.
The global drama of debt crises. Debt crises unfold like a global drama, touching economies, nations, and millions of lives. Debt crises occur when a country or entity fails to meet debt obligations, leading to severe financial, economic, and social consequences. To fully grasp this narrative, we must understand the origins of borrowing, the triggers that ignite crises, and their widespread impacts. 1. The role of debt in growth and development. Debt is a double-edged sword. When used effectively, it serves as a tool for growth, enabling nations to invest in health, education, and infrastructure. These investments lay the foundation for future success. When mismanaged, debt becomes a path to crisis. Debt is a tool for growth when used sustainably, but mismanagement can lead to crisis. 2. Causes of debt crises. Debt crises often begin with unsustainable borrowing. Governments may borrow excessively without accounting for their ability to repay. Several common causes lead to this. Fiscal indiscipline. Governments may overspend to fuel growth or finance populist policies, often ignoring long-term consequences. External shocks. Sudden economic events, like drops in commodity prices or natural disasters, reduce a country's income, making debt servicing difficult. Debt structure issues. High interest rates, short maturities, and foreign currency-denominated debt can magnify vulnerabilities. Unsustainable borrowing and poor fiscal management lead nations into debt traps. 3. Triggers. The spark that ignites a crisis. Debt crises can be triggered by sudden, unexpected events that push a country's finances over the edge. Investor confidence loss. A drop in investor confidence can lead to capital flight, weakening a country's currency. Sharp interest rate increases. Rising interest rates can make debt repayment unsustainable. Due to the interconnectedness of global financial systems, a crisis in one country can spread quickly to others through trade and shared financial markets. Debt crises are often triggered by sudden external events, such as a sharp loss of investor confidence. 4. The consequences. Immediate and long-term. The immediate effects of a debt crisis are economic contraction, a reduction in government spending, and a decline in investment. The long-term impacts can be even more severe. Economic contraction. Growth slows down significantly. Rising unemployment. The reduction in public services leads to unemployment and poverty. Lost decades of growth. Debt crises can cause nations to lose years of growth as they attempt to rebuild. The long-term consequences of a debt crisis include lost growth, high unemployment, and increased poverty. 5. Resolution of debt crises. A complex balancing act. Resolving a debt crisis often requires tough decisions, including austerity measures and debt restructuring. Each option has its challenges and trade-offs. Austerity measures. These measures can stabilize finances, but often deepen economic and social challenges. Debt restructuring reduces a country's debt burden, but may hurt its credit rating and future borrowing capacity. Bailouts. International bailouts provide liquidity, but often come with conditions that limit a country's economic sovereignty. Resolving a debt crisis requires a delicate balance between economic recovery and maintaining financial stability. 6. Case studies. Sovereign debt restructuring. Historical examples provide key lessons on the complexity of resolving debt crises. Greece, 2010s. In the early 2010s, Greece faced an enormous debt crisis, largely due to excessive borrowing. International organizations, including the IMF and European Central Bank, stepped in with a bailout. This intervention prevented Greece from defaulting, but came with severe social costs, including high unemployment and economic contraction. Greece's debt restructuring highlights the trade-offs between economic recovery and social stability within a currency union. Argentina, 2001 and 2020. Argentina's debt crises are among the largest in history. In 2001, the country defaulted on over $100 billion in debt, and legal disputes dragged on for years. In 2020, amid economic recession and the COVID-19 pandemic, Argentina renegotiated $65 billion in debt, emphasizing the importance of cooperation between debtors and creditors. Argentina's debt restructurings demonstrate the long-term challenges of managing debt in an unstable economic environment. Ecuador, 2000s and 2020. Ecuador successfully restructured its debt twice, in the 2000s and during the COVID-19 pandemic. In both instances, it secured substantial debt relief by working with creditors, demonstrating that collaboration can ease the burden of debt. Ecuador's approach illustrates the value of cooperative debt restructuring, balancing the needs of both creditors and debtors. 7. Lessons learned and prevention strategies. The history of debt crises offers important lessons for preventing future crises. Transparency and good governance. Open financial practices and clear governance structures build trust and allow early intervention. Sustainable borrowing practices. Debt must be kept at manageable levels to avoid future crises. Economic diversification. Countries overly dependent on single sectors are more vulnerable to external shocks. Fiscal and foreign exchange reserves. Building reserves helps countries weather financial storms. International cooperation. Global collaboration is vital in addressing the root causes of debt crises. Transparency, diversification, and sustainable borrowing are essential for preventing future debt crises. The path forward. Debt crises are inevitable in a globally interconnected economy, but they don't have to be catastrophic. By learning from past crises and focusing on sustainable economic practices, nations can build more resilient economies. International cooperation, good governance, and prudent financial management are the keys to mitigating the effects of future debt crises and paving the way toward a more stable global financial future. With informed policies and international cooperation, the impact of debt crises can be reduced, securing a prosperous future for nations and their people.